History of Recording Digital 1. Now, the first big advancement in digital recording came with the introduction of the compact disc, or the CD. Now, this was done by Sony and Philips in 1982. Now, this was the first consumer digital format. Now, this put a format into consumers' hands that could be copied with no generation loss. It brought high-quality audio to consumers, less noise, better sound quality, and more dynamic range. A 16-bit 44.1 kilohertz, this was the format decided upon by Sony and Philips without consulting the rest of the industry, and it kind of made a lot of people mad. But we'll find out later on what this 16-bit and 44.1 kilohertz really signify. Next came Sony Digital Tape. Now this is the first digital format for professional studios. It began to replace or be used with analog multi-track recorders. It functioned similar to analog tape because it was the standard. Reel-to-reel machines with stationary record and playback heads, just like analog tape. It used the same format because it's Sony again. So 16-bit 44.1 kilohertz, and later 48 kilohertz because that was the new standard that was released by the rest of the industry. Now, it's still used today in some professional studios. Some studios use both a digital reel-to-reel and an analog 24-track together to have more tracks. But it's not currently in production, so tape is not developed either, so it must be reused. Next came ADAT. This was developed by Alesis in 1991, and what this did is it revolutionized home studios. And what it was an 8-channel, 16-bit, 44.1 or 48 kilohertz recorder. And later on, they advanced to 20-bit. But basically, it's like having an 8-track tape machine in your home studio. And what it did was gave professional quality for under $4,000. So the home studio users were able to bring ADAT tapes that they had created at home into a professional studio, and they could have it mixed there. It moved projects away from multi-track cassettes, a market formerly dominated by Tascam, and you'll see how they reacted to that in the next slide. Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette was actually started on ADAT tape, and then later finished up in professional studio and mixed there. And next came out DAT, and this, like I said before, was the Tascam's answer to Alesis' ADAT. It's a similar quality to ADAT, but some say better. It came out in 1993, 16-bit, 44.1, 48 kilohertz recording, which later advanced to 24-bit, and sample rates as high as 192 kilohertz. It revolutionized home studios along with ADAT, but it also revolutionized the film and video industry because it had the ability to synchronize with timecode. Now, DATs are still actually being used today, especially in the film and video industry, as well as many home studios still. And that ends our first section of the history of recording digital.